Welcome to It's a Veggie BLT PETA, which normally stands for I totally suck at video games, but love to play them anyway. But as per our usual quarterly video, today it stands for I totally suck at video games, but love to play them and watch anime. The fall season, and it is fall this time. I totally messed up last time thinking it was fall when it was summer, but this time the fall season has ended in early January. Pretty much everything wrapped up for the fall season of 2022 anime, and I watched a bunch of stuff, and I want to tell you what I thought about it. So we're gonna just jump right into it. Oh, actually, but first let me explain what my rankings mean. So to let you know what my rankings really mean, S rank means I would buy it at full price unless it's put out by Aniplex USA because their full price is bullshit and I won't do it. But if it's put out by anyone else, I would buy it at full price, pre-order it, all that jazz. A means that I want to buy it and own it eventually. I may not pay full price unless it comes out super cheap, then fine. But I'll wait for a sale, but I do want to actually own it. B means I enjoyed watching it. It was fun. I probably don't need to own it, but it was definitely a fun watch. C means I watched it and I didn't hate it, but it wasn't really something that I enjoyed a lot. It wasn't really for me. Maybe like this is one of those ones where your mileage may vary because maybe it's like your super niche and I was like, yeah, this isn't really for me, but I can recognize that it's good or that it's at least palatable. D means I pretty much spite watched it just to finish it, and I really hated it and was not having a fun time. And dropped means I dropped it. Dropping a show doesn't necessarily mean it was bad. There are some things that just come around where either there's too many shows in a season, or I just, like, something happens and I just have to drop a show midway through. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But without further ado, let's start this party off with Tiger and Bunny, Season 2, Part 2. If you remember my last review, which I think was from the spring season, I love Tiger and Bunny. And Tiger and Bunny Season 2, despite it being like 9 or 10 years later from like the first season, literally feels like no time has passed at all. But in a good way. The animation is probably technically better, but it looks like the same, and it was very polished to begin with, so that's fine. The characters and the writing, everything is just as beautiful. It feels good. It's a nice anime. Like, it's superheroes, and the superheroes are actually, like, good people instead of all, like, the dark superhero stuff we've been getting. The characters are fun. They're not super deep, but it's just really fun and nostalgic and just nice to watch. And Season 2, Part 2 finished it up in a good way. A couple of things I was like, oh no, I won't spoil anything. But I loved all the interactions. I loved the plot was a little bit meh, but it's a lot of fun. It's Tiger and Bunny. I'm kind of biased on this, and I know it, and I don't care because this is my list. But Tiger and Bunny for me, I will buy it because it's not Aniplex USA. I'll buy it at a full price. It's an S tier for me. It's just so much fun, and Kotetsu and I guess I won't finish. Kotetsu here. Kotetsu on the left here and Bunny on the right here. They're basically a married couple. Like, they're in fact, this whole season had like the buddy system where they basically pair everybody off. There's nothing overtly romantic about any of the pairings, but like shippers know. Anyway, yeah, so I'll keep it in S. It was a treat for me, and when Viz eventually releases it, if Viz still has it, because it was a Netflix special, whoever releases it, as long as it's not Aniplex USA, I will buy it. The next thing, and kind of a tonal whiplash that I watched, was Pop Tepipiku Season 2, aka Pop Team Epic. It's hard to describe this show. It's two, like, half episodes, so, like, you know, almost 15 minutes each. It's the same exact, well, almost the same exact episode that runs twice. They get different voice actors for everyone, and some of the voice actors play around with the lines, so you do have to kind of pay attention, because every now and again, they'll throw in something different, and you'll be like, oh. But it's just, they call it a kuso anime, which is basically just a shit anime, and they're not wrong. I love it, though. It's fun. It made me laugh quite a few times. There's a lot of musical numbers, a lot of different weird stuff. Like, you could see all these people in the back here. There's many different versions of Pipimi and Popoko, and you can't You can't describe this anime. You just have to watch it, and you will either like it or you will be like, what the fuck did I just watch? And either way, it's getting its point across, because that is what this anime is supposed to be. It made me laugh, like I said, it made me laugh. So I give it a... I don't think I really want to own it. But yeah, I think I'll give it a B tier. Like, maybe if it was like on a super sale, I would buy it, but in this case, I'm good watching it streamed and getting a laugh, and it is done. Next up, oh god, I forget the title of this one. I think it's like The Little Lies We Tell, or The Little Lies We All Tell. I probably should have confirmed that. Either way, it's got a different Japanese title, as you can tell, like from the print up here. But this one, these 4 characters are in a school. I want to say, I'm trying to remember. The black-haired one, I forget her shtick. Oh yeah, she's a ninja. Never mind. So the black-haired one is a ninja. The one with the twin tails is an alien. The one with the silver hair is a boy. And then the one with in the front here with the brown hair and the glasses, she can like read the thoughts of girls. And they're all trying to keep their secrets, and the one, of course, who can read their thoughts is like, I know everything that's going on, but I just want to lead a normal life, so I'm just gonna shut the hell up. Of course, she can't read the boy's mind, and she doesn't know why. She's like, maybe she has some kind of power. Of course, it's the secrets because she's really a boy, whatever. If you can't tell, I didn't finish this one. It was definitely interesting, but in a very stacked season, I didn't really love it enough to give it my time. So in this case, I watched 1 episode just to see if it was going to be worth the struggle busing to fit it in the schedule. It wasn't. Not that it's bad. It could be very interesting. It probably had a lot of funny stuff, but it just didn't do enough for me, so I dropped it. Next up is Play It Cool, guys. This is a short anime, so every episode's only like 15 minutes. And it's about these 4 dudes who look like, ikemen, like they look like just hot dudes, and all the girls are like, oh, he looks so cute. But they're actually kind of like, what's the word? They're not dumb, but they're kind of derpy. Like, the opening scene, like the opening song, kind of does a very good job of explaining it. So, like, he'll be, this guy over here in the lower left will be like walking and try and bring a bottle of tea up to his mouth to drink, but he leaves the cap on, and he's just kind of like, oops, forgot I did that. Or, someone has the straw, the bendy straw upside down, and they're like, I can't believe I was drinking it this whole time that way. And this dude in the lower right is, he always has his headphones unplugged, so he just, like, is bopping to his music and everybody can hear it and stuff. That kind of stuff. So, like, just little goofy things that they do that's like, haha, you're silly, but you're cute, so it's fine. And, like, I don't know, really, it's kind of more slice of life-y. Like, they all end up meeting each other and, like, working or knowing people who work in, like, the same cafe. And I'm sure there's going to be more to it, because there is a second half. There was only, like, I only watched 12 episodes, I think, and the second half is playing in this winter 2023 season. But I like it. I don't know if it's technically boys' love. I can definitely see it being boys' love, but this may be in that nebulous, like, might as well be BL, but it's not explicitly stated, because, I mean, I guess maybe the second half of the show will tell me. But it's not deep. Nothing really crazy happens. It's just dudes in little random shenanigans being silly and, like, making mistakes. I think the most relatable one, again, is in the opening. And it's the dude in the lower left, and he's watching a YouTube video on his phone sitting at, like, a table. And then he, like, freaks out and is like, oh, where's my phone? And he starts looking for it, and then he realizes, oh yeah, I was watching it. I've done that. I've been on the phone and been like, shit, I don't have my phone. And then I realized I was on my phone. So, like, it's relatable. And it's cute. Nothing, nothing, like, amazing. I don't know. It's definitely, it's B tier for me so far, because it's making me, I'm enjoying it, but I don't need to own it. We'll see. We will see if the second part of the season changes that. We'll get back to you next quarter. The next anime that I'm gonna talk about is Romantic Killer. So Romantic Killer is about this, the girl in the lovely cat shirt on the right. Does not give a shit about romance. All she cares about are video games, chocolate, and her cat. So this little magical wizard thing that... that thing comes into her life, and of course I can't get back to 100%. So that thing comes into her life and takes away her chocolate and her cat and her video games. Basically, like, her parents go travel abroad and bring the cat with them, and then anytime there's chocolate, it just disappears, and like, I don't know, it works on anime magic. We just roll with it. But because she needs to find romance, and this little wizard dude is gonna help her, just like in an Otome game, find the hot dude and romance. Do it. But she's like, what? You took away the only things that bring me joy in my life? Fuck you. I'm not doing your romance. So she's fighting it all the way, and the wizard's trying to do these crazy things that get her to run into dudes. Like, hey, it started raining crazy, and there's a cockroach at the house, so she freaks out, runs out, gets trapped in the rain, and then orange-haired dude finds her and kills the cockroach. But then he can't go back home because like the thunderstorm is so bad, it like a branch flies through the window, and it's like, okay, maybe I'll stay here for the night. You know, typical stupid tropey shenanigans for romance stuff. And like the bottom dude is like the childhood best friend who you find out was someone she actually was friends with as a kid and played video games with, but he was the chunky loser kid at that point, and then he gets a glow up and becomes like the super baseball star, but totally is still in love with her. And then this dude on the left is like the rich kid who thinks everybody loves him, and she's like, fuck you, I don't give a shit. And he's like, no one's ever said that to me before. I want to own her. Not own her. I want her to like me now. So like, it's super tropey, but in like a comedic way, because she just keeps trying to be like, no, I am not playing with this, but then she gets to know the dudes and doesn't like hate them. But I unfortunately do not know how it ends yet, because when I was watching it, as you saw on Netflix, the TV I was watching it on had some issues with the Netflix app, and it would like just stop while I was watching the episode multiple times, and I was like, okay, God, I can't do this. So obviously I'll finish it up on another TV, but I was trying to watch it like in a specific, like basically during my lunch hour. And the fact that it was messing up made me stop. I watched through, I think, episode 9, so I got a good chunk through it. I wanna finish it up. So I don't know if I should put this in dropped or give it my rating as of now. I will say, the animation, not amazing. I don't know what studio did it, but that's kind of you're gonna see where I'm gonna put it if I don't put it in dropped. Like, it's in C tier, I think. I should like it for everything that it is, but it's just kind of not really doing it for me. It wants to be a comedic romance, and it's not, you know. Shit, I don't know if it's B or C. Like, I think it's going to depend how it ends, so I'm actually going to put it in dropped, because I can't judge it until I know how it ends. So it's in dropped right now, but I do plan to finish that one up, and it's probably going to end up in either the high C or low B tier, just for your own knowledge. Next up is an Otome anime that did its job correctly, and this is the Bibliophile Princess. Now, I had read the light novels, at least the first 2 volumes, I think, before I watched this show, so I actually knew everything that was going to happen. Although I think the finally, like the last arc in the show, I had not read the novel for that, so that was nice. It is a romance story. This girl on the left is known as the Bibliophile Princess. She is like a noble daughter of like these really smart, super book smart, like noble family that are called like the brains of the country name or whatever. And a lot of people will actually use their family because they're so smart to, like, you know, get political gains. In this case, though, the prince, of course, on the right here, the prince of the country, does say, like, hey, be my fiance, and has to win over her dad because the dad wants to make sure he's not just trying to use her. But he's not. And luckily, right before his time limit's up, he gets her to actually care about him. And that's like, this is in like the first 2 episodes, so I'm not really spoiling anything. But essentially, he tried to make it look like a fake engagement, so she would just say yes. He'll be like, yo, I'll let you read all the books you want in the Royal Library. And she's like, okay, cool. I'll just help you fend off other engagement offers until you find someone you really like. But he really wanted her, so he does his plans. And that's basically what all the arcs are, is essentially she's like kind of naive and reads a lot of books and makes suggestions of like, hey, back in history, maybe like this was used to cure this illness, and she just does like an offhand remark where then he, like the prince, will take that and use it to like actually help the kingdom, and then he'll be like, you're the one who's helping the kingdom, Ellie, because her name is Ellie and his name is Chris. But those are all the arcs. The arcs are basically like shenanigans happen, she doesn't know what's going on, and he kind of rescues her or comes in to. And it's nice. I don't know. It's not anything groundbreaking. The animation is beautiful. The characters are beautiful. It was always nice that way. Is a nice romance. I like, but I don't need. So B tier. Happy I watched it. That's all it needs to be. That's all it needs to be. Clever. Next up is Gundam the Witch from Mercury. This one's a little bit all over the place. I don't know what to rate it, so we're gonna talk things out and maybe I'll come up with a decision. Now, to be fair, only the first half is out right now. I don't think it's continuing right away. I think we're gonna have a break between the cores. I'm not sure. So I can't completely judge it, but I can at least judge it from the first half and tell you if it's worth watching more. So we got, I gotta make it bigger, sorry. This redhead on the right is Soletta Mercury. She is a horrible character. I don't know. I really did not enjoy her character. She's just like the little country bumpkin naive girl who's always like, oh no, I don't know what to do. Ha 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 ha. Like, I just, ugh. But she pilots a Gundam, which in this specific Gundam world, Gundams are kind of outlawed right now because the system that they use kills pilots. But for some reason, Soletta doesn't get affected by the Gundam, and they don't answer that in the first season, so that I'm still waiting to see what's going on. So she can pilot this Gundam that they're keeping secret. It's a Gundam for now. And she's really good at it. And she transfers to this school on... It's not Earth. It's on, is it the moon or just a colony? I don't know. There's the whole, as Gundam does, there's like the Earth people versus the space people. So like spacers and Earthers. And there's always just political shenanigans. But in this case, it's not as relevant, or it is relevant, but not as politically relevant, you'd think, because she goes to a school. It's a school Gundam. It definitely gets more political later, trust me. But so there she meets Miorine, who is on the left here, who is the daughter of basically the president of space. And hates life and is, I just want to escape and go to Earth because my daddy doesn't respect me. And she also, in very Utena style, is basically the Rose Bride, and whoever wins the duels in this school gets her hand in marriage, which is a big thing because basically, like I said, her dad is the king of space. So whoever gets to marry into that family gets a lot of hubbub, so... that's why Soletta's outfit here is white instead of like the gray, because the holder, aka the Prince Utena, gets to have a different outfit if whoever has whoever is the winner at the current time. Now, honestly, I don't like Miorine either because she's like an annoying. I don't know. She's annoying. She's not my favorite. She's not quite tsundere, but she's like, my way should be the way everything is because I'm always right, even though she's definitely not. Now, we're going to save my best character for last. This dude up here, there are spoilers to him, so I don't want to say too much, but he is... You know what, I won't say too much. He didn't do much for me in the character thing, and like as the characters go, but he's interesting, and maybe more is going to happen in the second core, but I can't really say too much on him. Blondie over here, I thought would be my favorite character, and I do like him. He's definitely like the sneaky type to do some things behind the scenes to make things go his way. I won't say too much more on spoiler-wise, but he definitely plays a big part in the back half of the first season. And then there is best boy Guel over here. Guel Jaturk. In the first episode, I hated him and I thought he was dumb as shit. And then the second episode onward, I'm like, oh shit, I was wrong. Guel, you're the best. Because he basically is the son. Oh yeah, they're all like sons or adopted or otherwise of like the 3 top business companies under Space King. So he is Daddy's boy, who was the current holder of the Rose Bride, and gets beaten by Soletta and gets kind of shamed. Does some things to try and win her back. I don't know. Things don't work out for him. He's kind of fucked. As far as the end of season 1 goes. I love him though, and I want to see more of him. He redeemed this show for me, because for a while, in the middle episodes of the show, I was not having it. I was like, this Gundam is alright, I guess, but I don't really like it. And then I was like, I'm gonna watch it for Guel. Do it for Guel. So yeah, that's I will say, the last episode kind of got me back into it. A lot of shit happened that I won't spoil, and I'm like, I do want to see where this is going. So as of this point, Gundam Witch from Mercury is a B tier for me. I am enjoying it now, and I want to see where it's going, but I do not need to own it. Yep. Alright, next, Akiba Maid Wars. Now this show came out of nowhere and was like, hey, we're awesome. So what it is essentially, I think it takes place in like the 90s or very early 2000s, and maid cafes are a very, very loose cover. They're basically, think Yakuza Wars and like just Yakuza, but instead it's maid cafes, because they're owned by like, you know, the big territories. It's great. Okay, I don't need to explain it. It's Yakuza that are maids instead. So they do the whole moe moe q, and then they'll go on a secret mission and just like blow the shit out of these other maids and like kill them. And it's yeah, you're like, oh, there's violence, there's blood spurting everywhere, neato beans. It's a weird mix of like just the comedy of Maid Cafe with the blasé-ness of like, yeah, we have to kill these people now. But they're like, I don't know. It came, like I said, it came out of nowhere. Like, I didn't know what the hell, where this idea came from, but PA Works pulled it off. The animation's great. The characters are fun. The girl up top here, Nagomi, she just wants to be a maid because she thought it would be fun and cute, and was not ready to get pulled into basically the Yakuza turf wars that happened. And she's the one who gets, of course, the most character growth, because she goes from like, what's happening, to, well, I won't say anything. She doesn't, you know what? No, I won't say anything. But she definitely has some character growth, and a lot of shit happens to her, but she's the catalyst for a lot of events as well. There is a panda. Did not mean to do that. There is a panda, thank you. There's a panda. I won't say more about the panda. Panda's cool. This manager over here she's the manager of the cafe, the Tontokoton, which I think they call the Oinky Doinky Cafe in the translation. She's useless and worthless and like the most cowardly of cowards, and never wants to take responsibility for anything. And she doesn't change, but that's kind of comforting in its own way. There's the number one host here on the right, who pulls most of their customers. On the left is the gal girl, who is just in it to like have fun and look good. And then we have Renko. I forget some of their names, I apologize. But we have Renko, who is a 36-year-old maid who was in the business before. So think Kazuma Kiryu. He went to jail and just got out and joins this maid cafe because it's where basically her mentor used to work. And yeah, it's a lot. It's got a lot of violence, a lot of action. It's not very deep, I will be honest, but it was a lot of fun to watch, and it surprised me. I also liked the end song because it's like an enka song, and the theme. Honestly, this one might have the best theme song, like opening and ending, because the opening is very great because it's got this like serious hardcore, and then it just busts into like maid style stuff. I would, yeah, this one, listen, it's not an S tier for me because I just didn't care about the characters enough, but it was definitely A tier worthy. Like, if it goes on sale, I would not mind owning Akiba Maid Wars. Next up is another one that I'm not sure I'm going to get the title right, but it's like, I'm the villainess, so I'm taming the final boss, I think. So there's so many freaking villainous light novels and anime now, but you know what? This one took it on a slightly different spin, so I gave it a shot, and it was fun. This, it's an I guess it's technically an isekai, yeah. Is this our first isekai? It is! Okay, so this is, I guess, probably the first, maybe the only isekai of this, no, it's not the only, but the first isekai of the season. Because our main girl here, liked playing otome games, or I don't know, she ended up playing this game, died somehow, and then in the middle of a scene in the game where she is being rejected by the prince who was her fiance, remembers what's going on, and then decides, like, shit, I don't want to die because that's like, or get chased out, I don't know, because that's what happens to the villainess. So I need to figure out how to make things work out. So unlike the, you know, the All Routes Lead to Doom, like I Am the Villainess anime, instead of trying to just stay under the radar, she goes after the prince's half-brother or full brother, I'm not sure, but he's a demon here. She goes after him and is like, hey, you're the demon king, you're kind of like foisted off in this kingdom. I'm gonna make you love me and want to marry me so I can still have some power and not get killed. And that starts a whole chain of shenanigans where she just is a good person, makes friends with the demons like the crow up here. She gets a little wolfy companion dude. These two over here, this is the human steward to the demon king who's just been his best friend since they were kids. And then back up there is Beelzebub. I think like this dude's name is Keith, I think. Beelzebub up there is like his #1 demon right-hand man. And there's stuff that goes around. The political shenanigans, they have to figure out that who actually like framed someone of doing something and stop the evil in quotes demon prince from turning into a giant dragon and getting killed like what happens in the game. So it's typical villainous otome thing where she has to remember what happens in the game and then twist it. And then it goes into a second arc where she's at I don't know, she's going to a different school to find out another thing, but she has to pretend she's a boy at this school. And then there's a third arc where everything all comes together. They basically do, I don't know how many light novels there are, I can't imagine there's too many more, but they basically get through probably all of it, like a whole story in this 12-episode show. So like that's nice. At least you don't have like the to be continued, what happens next kind of thing. And you know what? It was fun. The characters are fun. It is kind of an overdone trope now with the whole villainous thing, but it was different enough and that I didn't mind, and the characters were fun enough that it was cool. There's a lot of extra characters that they probably introduced that could have got more screen time, but on the whole, if you like romance, otome tropes, and just like a little bit of comedy, it's worth it. I don't think I really need to buy it. It's a lot of B tiers this season so far, but that's fine. I enjoyed my time with it. It wasn't bad. Next up is Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun, Season 3. I will level with you, I'm still in the progress of watching this. It is a double core anime, so it's like 24 episodes. I think I'm on episode like 9 at this point, which is enough for me to know what to think about it, because it's going to get the same rating that the first 2 seasons got. I like Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun. It is nice. It is like, I think it's aimed towards a younger audience, like, definitely, but it's still good. If that makes sense. It's honestly, it's like My Hero Academia if it was aimed towards a younger audience and they were demons instead of superheroes. Because this is the class that he, like, this is Iruma on the right here with the blue hair. He's actually a human who's posing as a demon because, like, the chairman of the school that he gets put into just adopted him from his parents who were no good nicks. He's got the power of dodge and the power of I can't say no to people, which, great combination. But he has a ring that kind of lets him simulate he has demon powers so that people don't think he's just a human, because demons eat humans. And these are his classmates, except for a couple of people. I don't know who this dude with the brown hair is yet. I don't think I've met him, unless he's one of, like, the randos for this season. But anyway, These are his classmates for that. They're the misfit class, and through shenanigans in the other seasons, they're very famous and cool now. I'm gonna make it so it's not so pixelated. I don't honestly, since it's season 3, I don't really want to say too much because you've either been watching this show or you haven't. Don't start with season 3. There's gonna be a lot of stuff that you won't quite know what to do with, but it's fun. It's a nice, just everything usually. And you know what? Everything does end up good. It's kind of goofy, kind of childish, but feels nice to watch. I enjoy it. It gets an A for me because I don't want to pay full price. Like, the first season's out, and it's like, I don't know if I want to pay full price. I don't know if I'm ever going to actually watch it again, but I want to own them eventually so that I have them in my collection. So A tier for Iruma-kun Season 3, even though it's only half over. And I haven't even watched it all. And the next anime up is Shinobi no Ittoki. This one I think is an anime original. It kind of came out of nowhere for me. Our dude on the left here thought he was just a normal high schooler whose mother put him through a lot of training like gymnastics and stuff. Turns out he's actually the heir to a ninja clan, and there are ninja clans that are waging secret wars against each other, even though there's kind of a council to keep them at peace. So he learns he's the heir to the ninja clan and has to get into ninja school so that he can become the true heir to the ninja clan. And a lot of stuff happens. He meets some friends, he meets some enemies, a big ninja war happens, people die. People actually die in this show. I was like, whoa, they did it. The best character is his uncle over here. He's awesome and like basically Kakashi from Naruto. I don't know, he's super fast and he's the best. He's like literally they're like he's the best ninja ever. We can't attack if he's at the base, so they always have to like try and distract and get him out of there before any attacks in the war happens. Spoilers, kind of. There are some friends he meets at school. Twin tail blonde girl up here. She's from like a secret ninja clan and she's happy and bubbly. Or does she have secrets, as a ninja does? The like pink girl on the left, she's the heir to like the ninja tool makers, so she like is freaking in love with like all the ninja tools because the ninja tools are crazy in this show. And there's like this secret, like this ninja core that you engage in a bracelet that like puts a secret crazy ninja outfit on you that's like all high tech. I didn't question it. It was not worth questioning. It was just fun to watch. Dude on the right up there is like the son of the bad guy, or he's not the son of, but he's involved in the village, the ninja village that wants to take over everything, which is run by this dude in red down here. And then these three are like, the green's his mother, and then the blue and the purple are like his ninja village head, like right-hand mans. And then this girl is his adopted sister. And you'd think it would go like more harem route than it did. And there were harem leanings, but not, it didn't go full harem. There was actually more plot than there was harem, which made it actually pretty good, you know? For not knowing what to expect, there was a lot of violence and death and comedy and an okay plot, and it was fun. It was a surprise. I don't need to own it, but it was a surprise and a good surprise, so it gets in the B tier. It's like a high B, because I don't know, if it was $5, I'd probably buy it, but that goes for a lot of anime. Next up is, yes, our other isekai for the season, the Eminence in Shadow. Let's see if we can get a better view. Here we go. Our main dude in the middle here with the purpley flame, it was from our world. In the first episode, which I guess is an anime original thing, but in the first episode, it kind of shows him that he did a lot of training on his own to basically be like kick-ass, you know, like his own, trying to be a superhero even though he has no powers and nothing because it's the real world. But his greatest wish is to be like strong enough to withstand an atomic bomb, so he is like the ultimate powerful. And he gets hit by a truck, good old truck-kun, and gets, I guess, reincarnated or whatever in this whatever world it is. And he has the power, and he has magic, so he can finally be who he wants to be because he has magic which will let him be more powerful than he could have been in on regular Earth with just his normal physical abilities. As you can see, he kind of has a harem girl army, but he doesn't really care about them. His real only goal, he just wants to be the Eminence in Shadows. The main, like, he wants to be not a villain, but like this super secret head of a, you know, the organization that looks really cool and does cool stuff. Sorry, move that around. And he ends up being that, but he doesn't think he actually is. He thinks like all the ladies who do his commands are just kind of humoring him. Because like in the first episode, or no, sorry, the second episode, at one point, one of the ladies has a map and is like, we can't quite narrow down where the like so-and-so is. And he just kind of throws a dagger and says, they're there. In his head, he's like, oh, shoot, I missed. I did not hit where I was aiming for. And then, but still the woman's like, oh, you're right. We didn't think about it. Connecting these dots. They must be there. And it was there. So it's like something about this world makes everything he wants actually happen, but he doesn't think so. He thinks they're all just kind of playing along with him and like doesn't. It's really a weird vibe, but that vibe made it fun to watch because it is edgelord kind of harem, stupid, tropey, chunibyo, I'm the coolest superhero or supervillain, superhero, whatever. I have all the power. It is that. It's just that. But because it's like he's so blasé about it, it makes it amusing enough to watch. Now this one is also going to be a double core. So I've only watched like the first 12 episodes. I'm going to keep watching it though because honestly, I've been having fun with it. It's not great. It's not special. There's a lot of boobs, like, and some boob jokes, and just it is harem-y and edgelordy, but I like it enough that it gets a B tier from me, and I will keep watching the second season to see if it stays there. Who knows? It may not. Next up is Bleach, the 1,000 Year Blood War, and I am nostalgic for Bleach, so this was fun for me. I'll be honest, I never finished watching Bleach before this, and I have not finished the manga. I got stuck pretty much in the Hueco Mundo arc in both cases. But I like the characters on Bleach. They are really freaking like, what is it, Tito Kube or Tite Kubo? Tite Kubo, I think. He just knows how to freaking draw characters. The character designs are amazing. So, and because I have nostalgia for Bleach, I'm like, you know what? I know enough. I'm gonna watch this, and it's been fun. Now I've heard it's gonna go 4 core, but they're not continuous. So unfortunately, we only got like 12 episodes, maybe 13. I don't remember. And then we have to wait. I think they're like skipping a core, so we have to wait till summer season to watch the rest. But it is going to cover the end of the manga, which the anime didn't get to originally. It does have Tite Kubo as like consulting on it, and it is going to actually, from what I hear, even add more details that the manga kind of skipped out on because he just wanted to. He was kind of in a rush to finish, or maybe the editors were in a rush to make him finish. I don't know. Either way, watching Ichigo Kurosaki do his thing again has been a lot of fun because, of course, Ichigo is our main boy. And I think I heard Johnny Young Bosch gets to voice him in the dub. I'm not gonna watch the dub, but that sounds fun, especially because he gets to voice Vash, and like Johnny Young Bosch must be like, is it 20 years ago? Like, are we repeating the past? Because he's just voicing all the characters he voiced when he started. But Ichigo's doing his thing. Shit happens. Crazy people invade. There are these guys like Yahwach or whatever his name is. Who is actually part of the Quincy clan that everyone thought was not existent anymore, but he comes back and he beats the shit out of the Serete, the Shinigami and the Soul Society. Like, they get owned. So that's basically what happens in this first part, is you get introduced to everybody again, and then the Soul Society gets fucking owned. And next up is going to be training to get better so they can beat it. I'm assuming that's just how shonen goes. But it's fun. I like it. I'll watch more. This one's a hard one. I don't know if I would own it because I don't own the rest of Bleach, and I don't think I'd watch the rest. Like, I don't really want to own the rest of Bleach just because it's long. There's a lot of filler. But this particular arc, we'll see how it goes. Right now, I'm going to put it in A because I did really enjoy my time, and if it was on sale, I might actually buy just this arc, this last 4 arc. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, it was worth watching. Next up is Spy Family Season 2. It's everybody's favorite. There's Anya, who's a psychic girl. She's a little girl. She can hear people's thoughts. And then she gets adopted by Lloyd Forger, who's a super spy. And he has to make it look like he has a normal family. So he co-ops, I forget her name. But she's actually like a secret assassin. But they don't know that she doesn't know he's a spy. And he doesn't know she's an assassin. But the little girl knows everything. But she's so young and dumb. She just thinks it's all, doesn't think it's too serious. And she has to go to school and be a #1 school person so she can get into the house of this guy who Lloyd has to like assassinate or something. And there's a dog. The dog is new to this season. The dog is super cute. The dog can kind of be clairvoyant, can see like what happens in the future. So Anya can read the dog's mind to see what's going to happen and then try and change it and then make sure it's going to change. I like Spy Family, do not get me wrong. It is cute, it is fun. I did not watch more than 3 episodes of this season. I did actually drop it. And not because it's not good, but because it's so just like light and comedic. While I do enjoy it and I appreciate it, it doesn't make me be like, yeah, I can't wait to watch this every week. It's just kind of like, while I'm watching it, it's definitely cute and fun and I enjoy it, but it didn't have the pull. And there, as you can see, I watched so much other shit this season, I just didn't have the time to keep watching it. So unfortunately, I dropped it. I don't know if I'll get back to it. We'll see. But it's cute. It's definitely like if you aren't watching a shit ton of shows, it was worth keeping up with it because the dog was great. I forget the dog's name, but the dog was great. All right, only a few more shows left. This one, listen, I don't know. I don't think it technically counts as a fall 2022 anime, but I watched it in fall of 2022 season, and that is Cyberpunk EdgeRunners. And it was good. I don't know how much I have to actually say about this. Everybody and their mother has been like singing its praises. You don't have to know anything about Cyberpunk 2077, the video game, to understand this game. If you know some stuff, I'm sure like the references are very cool, but you just have to be able to enjoy Cyberpunk in general and also be able to enjoy Trigger's way of doing things. There will be a lot of frenetic action. I think this might be the first time Trigger actually got to draw like boobs and a lot of blood and nudity. They kind of let them have free reign. Our main kid here, I think is David. Oh, shit, I'm gonna be reamed at if I forget his name. But either way, he has some unfortunate shit that happens to him and ends up becoming an edge runner, which is kind of like cyberpunks who, are mercenaries and they just work for people who hire them to do jobs. And he, of course, falls in and, falls for this chick here who's like a super hacker kind of girl. There's the crazy tough girl up here and on the right. The Lolly, who, fun story from what I hear, basically CD Projekt Red, who does the Cyberpunk games and owns like a lot of the rights, and basically commissioned this from Trigger, was like, there's no lollies in Cyberpunk, you can't have a lolly. And Trigger's like, we're not going to do this unless we can put a lolly in it. So guess who won that argument? Because there's a lolly who loves guns, and she might be my favorite character in the show. There's their broker up there. There's the head of the EdgeRunners, Maid, which is named right here, and he teaches David the ropes. I forget her name, but she's another super hacker with the mask. And then I think his name was Spider. He's actually the Lolly's brother, and he's got cool hands. I forget his shtick. But either way, they're a ragtag group that come together and do a bunch of heists and like missions, and you're watching that. But like a lot of crazy and dark shit also goes on, and I don't want to spoil anything. It does not necessarily end very happy. Depends on what you judge a happy ending as. But it is 10 episodes long, and it was very well animated and very well done. Do not kill me, guys. Do not kill me, guys. I don't know. I don't think I can say anything more about it. It's just, it's a lot of fun. 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 It's I'm gonna put it in A tier. So many people are like, this is one of the best anime we've seen in years and stuff. Yeah, it was good, but it wasn't one of the best I've seen. It wasn't something I want to buy at full price if they release it. Would I buy it? Yeah, it was good enough for that, and it's Trigger. Trigger's always good, but it's not S tier for me. Which people are going to look at this and be like, Tiger and Bunny was S tier, and Cyberpunk was only A? What's wrong with you? Listen! I am my own person, and this is how I do things. We're almost done. Again, I think I said that before, but we're almost done. There's no text on this picture, sorry, but this is Bastard Season 2, or Season 1 Part, I don't know, Bastard Part 2. Because it was 24 episodes and I only watched 12 last season. It still definitely feels like it's from the 80s and early 90s in plot and character writing wise. The animation was still decent, not amazing, but not bad. There's a lot of JoJo style narration of what's going on and like plot points, which is not a bad thing if you're into that. I don't know. It was fun. It was fine. Did I love it? No. And Yoko, the redhead here, is still one of the worst characters ever. She's useless. There's other characters not featured here which are much cooler. There's like a ninja dude named Gaara, who's not the Gaara from Naruto, but he's like a buddy right-hand man for our Dark Schneider hero here. And there's Dark Schneider's daughter / lover, because she's an elf and he's... You know, he was immortal and got reborn. Shenanigans, it was the early 90s, things happen. Anyway, but her name is Arshis Ne, and she's awesome and very useful. There's some other girls and some random priests who always are doom and gloom, and you know, that part doesn't matter. What matters is the action, the magic system. That's it. It was fun. I don't know how much to say about this. If you ever watch the original OAVs, this at least gives you some more closure. Obviously, it ends on it to be continued because the Bastard manga keeps going farther, but it gives more closure than like the 6-episode OAV did. That's faux show. And it was an enjoyable watch if you're cool with just like 80s and early 90s style action goofiness. It's like a B. It's a solid B for me. I enjoyed it, but I don't really need to ever watch it again. And finally, the thing that everybody watched in fall of 2022, Chainsaw Man. I liked it. I read the manga a while ago, and so I knew what to expect coming into this, and it delivered pretty much what I expected to do. And now I think what I liked most about Chainsaw Man the anime were the soft moments, like the quiet moments, where like I guess at one point they mentioned that there's like a 2-minute scene of Aki, who you can't see here because they only have Denji here, of Aki, one of the characters in the show, just like his morning routine where he gets up, brushes his teeth, like cooks breakfast, like smokes a cigarette out on the veranda. It's just 2 minutes of soft, like normal life. That's not in the manga anywhere, but it adds such a... I don't know, it adds so much to the anime to just see these people doing normal things and like trying to be human versus the insanity that the battles against the demons are. Because as you can see, Denji here has a chainsaw for a head. Now he doesn't always look like this, but he fused with the chainsaw demon and has his heart, and so can just vroom, yank out a chain and transform into Chainsaw Man, where he has chainsaws for a head and arms and possibly other limbs in the future. Who knows? And demons can heal themselves by drinking blood, so all this blood over here actually heals him if he has some problems, and he gets co-opted to work for basically a government operation to fight other demons and eventually find the gun demon, because I guess the gun demon is the ultimate demon who pretty much fucked the world over like a while back by just firing this one gunshot that like wrecked a whole ton of shit. So they're out to find pieces of the gun devil that are in... I guess they're devils, not demons, sorry. But either way, sorry about that. I forget if they're devils or demons. I think they're devils. But they're trying to find pieces of the gun devil to put enough together to lead them to where the gun devil's body is, because it's kind of like magnet style, with if there's enough of them together, it's going to attract to the rest of it. So that's his mission, is to help this girl Makima, this lovely lady Makima, who is the head of the division he's in, kill enough devils to get the pieces to get to the gun devil. And he has this cool crew. There's Power, who is a I guess she is a devil. She is a devil who took over the corpse of someone, like of a lady. So she's crazy, and she's like the blood devil. Aki, the aforementioned Aki, is like their handler. He's human, but has a pact with a devil. And then there's the rest of Division 4. Like, I don't want to go into too much. What I will say is there's a lot of violence. There's a lot of blood and gore. I don't think there's any actual nudity, so you don't have to worry about that part. But it is very bleak. Like, there's not a lot of good that happens in this world. So the little things that are good stand out more. I think that's why I like the quiet moments that they do, because the little things stand out more than the big things. But it's good. It ends. It's I don't know if they're doing a second season. I imagine they will, because like I said, everybody and their mother watched the show. But it ends in a good spot where there's an arc that's complete, but there will be more to come. For the 12 episodes, they did a different ending song every episode, which was very cool. And episode 7's ending song is the best. Episode 7 itself is, whew, doggy. There's a scene in there that is not violent gross, but just gross, so watch out for that. And the opening song, also great. Definitely, we're going to miss that. I think everyone who watches is going to miss it when they do a second season and it changes. But hopefully the second one will be just as good. Or else we'll have like an Attack on Titan situation where everyone's like, where's the da 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 da. But either way, Chainsaw Man, here's the thing. Part of me, I think if I didn't read the manga, I'd probably put this at S. So I'm going to, just because. Also, if I don't put it at S, probably people will hurt me. I don't know if I would own it at full price. This is the thing. So it's a low S for me. It's a low S, high A. Because I've read the manga, I know some things that happen which, for me, makes it less appealing. But I think maybe if I was fresh into it without having the knowledge of the manga, I would be more gung-ho. It would be more like, this is like Jujutsu Kaisen, I really love it, I'm gonna mark it S. So I'm gonna put it in S, because it probably deserves to be there, and because the hype is deserved. It met the expectations. Alright, so let's just go over everything I have. Tiger and Bunny Season 2 Part 2 was on Netflix. I'm gonna keep it at S tier because I want to buy it. Chainsaw Man, I watched on Crunchyroll. I'll keep it at S, but again, keep in mind it's technically for me a high A, but I'll keep it in S for now. Akiba Maid War, I watched on High Dive. That stays in the A. Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun, I watched on Crunchyroll. That can stay in A. Bleach the 1,000 Year War, I had to unfortunately watch on Hulu because Disney has it. I hate Hulu's subtitles, but whatever, I will suffer for my art. That can stay in A, because it may eventually move to B, who knows, but for right now, it tickled my nostalgia enough that I'm like, yeah, I like it. Cyberpunk EdgeRunners, I watched on Netflix, and that stays in A. It's solid. It was fun. I don't need to buy it at full price. Pop Tepipiku, Pop Team Epic Season 2, I watched on Crunchyroll. Yeah, that's a solid B. Play It Cool, guys, I'm watching on Crunchyroll. It's still continuing. For right now, it's a solid B. The Bibliophile Princess, I watched on High Dive. That does stay also in B. Gundam Witch from Mercury, I watched on Crunchyroll. Right now, it's a B. Could change depending on further seasons. We'll see how that goes. Might go A, might go C. I'm the Villainess, so I'm taming the final boss. Yeah, it's a B. Like, this is maybe the closest one so far that might be like a low B, high C. But I had enough fun watching it, I don't really regret it, so it'll stay in B for me. Shinobi no Ittoki was a surprise for what it was not expecting much, got more than I was expecting, so it stays in B. Eminence and Shadow is this is also another one that might dip into C. We'll see how the second season goes because it's still ongoing, but I'll keep it in B for now. And Bastard has to be in B because B is for Bastard. This season was good enough that there are no C or D tier ones, which is surprising. I'm not going to complain about that. That's a good thing. And then the dropped ones, again, I'm not going to watch the Little Lies We Tell. I'm done with that, but it could be good. Spy Family, I would watch maybe in the future if there's like a really dull season, but it just doesn't have that pull for me to be like, yeah, I need to know what happens next because it's a comedy. I mean, that's how those work. And then Romantic Killer, I will try to watch just because it had technical difficulties. If I had to move something, like if we count what I watched, this would be a C tier one, where I'm just kind of finishing it because I'm like, it's not really that great, but I want to see how it ends kind of thing. So we'll just move that there for now. But that's it. Oh, sorry, those last three, the last few, I forgot to tell you where I watched them. The Villainess, I'm Taming the Villainess was Crunchyroll. Shinobi no Ittoki was Crunchyroll. Eminence and Shadows is High Dive. Bastard was Netflix. Romantic Killer, also Netflix, and then These Little Lies We Tell and Spy Family are Crunchyroll. But yeah, that's what I watched in fall. Not a bad season at all. It was a pretty stacked season. How many shows? 14 shows. Well, we'll count it 15 because I do want to finish up Romantic Killer. So 15 shows that I watched, and only one of them, which could tentatively move to B tier depending on how it ends, was in C tier. So like that's a pretty good season. I had a lot of fun in fall. Winter so far is kicking my ass. Winter 2023 has a shit ton of shows that I want to watch, so we'll see how that goes too, because some of them I'm probably just going to have to drop just because of time. But that is my ranking for the fall 2022 anime season. I'm sure I missed some shows that you loved, but you know what? I didn't have time for them. But if there's something that I really, really should have watched, let me know. I will throw it in my backlog. Maybe watch it on my lunch hours and stuff, or when I need to binge something and just like if I'm sick and I need something to watch, give me that anime. I will get it done. If you don't agree with what I chose, I mean, you're welcome to tell me your opinion. I probably won't change my mind, but I do like to hear what other people think of things. Like if you're like, oh my god, Gundam Witch from Mercury is the best thing ever, it deserves to be S tier, tell me why. Tell me why. But that's it. I'm gonna sign out of this video now. I hope you enjoyed watching. Maybe got an idea of something you want to watch from the fall season now that it's over and you have access to all of them and you can binge. But yeah, I'm gonna end it now. It's a veggie BLT pita! I totally suck at video games, but love to play them anyway.